there, this is Diane out and about reviewing a movie, Abduction, starring Taylor Lautner. I just saw that this weekend and it was so exciting. I'm going to give it a thumbs up to go and watch. I sometimes read other people's comments and when I snapped into one of the websites, I wondered, did we see the same movie? Because I thought it was so exciting. If you don't like Taylor Lautner, you may not, because he obviously is the star of this film. He looks good. His smile's dazzling. He's plays the teenager coming of age, the little rebellion going on with his parents, and he just, he fills up the screen. There's no question. And I like to, when I review movies, not just, talk about the scene, but, what are my takeaways? What are my thoughts about it? This is kind of it's such a thrilling action film, almost to the point that some places I think, am I watching a video game or is this an actual movie? Some of the stunts that they did, or even maybe they weren't stunts, they were just things that they did, were just, superhuman, just superhuman. Some of the clever elements, as far as techniques and little hiding things, I thought those were pretty clever too. The story basically goes where this kid gets assigned a school project with his literally next door neighbor, girl next door, and they kind of have this little tension going on. And as they're in the middle of doing this project, where they have to research something on the internet, they find this website that is about missing persons. And they're flipping through pictures, and then the picture morphs into what they think the kid might look like today. And one of the pictures that pops up is a little kid that the girl next door says, "Hey, that looks like you." And he kind of looks at it, and he realizes, after doing some more research and finding a shirt that looks like the kid who was wearing it, like one of his baby things, that it is him. And he engages in a chat box on this website, like, yeah, I think I might have seen him. Well, it goes into an entire series of, oh my gosh, just amazing. It's so scary to think of the things that if stuff like that really does happen. I guess he has something that they want, and these terrorists, Russian terrorists, and so the CIA are there to help him, and the Russian terrorists, and he wonders, gee, well, if I'm a missing person, who are those people I thought were my parents? Well, now go back to the parents, who are played by Jason Isaacs and Maria Bello, Kevin and Mara Harper, and they're just, I wouldn't say they're typical, but they have an interesting role in this, where later we find out that they aren't his real parents, but that they were his guardians, and teaching him to, preparing him for what actually does happen, which is these people come. And in fact, one of the opening scenes where Nathan Harper / Stephen Price, who's played by Taylor Lautner, he comes home from a party, and instead of going to bed, he was drunk. His dad makes him fight him, and the fight scenes are so incredible. They're just fight, pow, quite the sucker punches, quite the kicks, and it's amazing. And kind of like, if you have a takeaway, you think, I should be prepared in case something like that would ever happen to me. So that's one of my takeaways, is to be prepared physically and mentally, and to be alert, and not be trusting of people, but to just in case. Have reservations. Don't be so trusting and naive about certain things, especially in today's world. Also, I've been watching 24, the TV series, and it's about this counter-terrorist unit that uses all of the technology we have, which is street cameras and cell phone webcams, all of those things to catch terrorists. And so they engage with that same kind of technology here in this movie, and that's kind of scary in a way, to think that all of your moves can be tracked and recorded and found, like some Big Brother thing, that there's no privacy anywhere. So that's another thing, that you might be careful about what you post on the computer and your technology, and remove your battery if you don't want people to know where you are. And anyway, there's a lot of things like that. Then there's the setting of it, which is in Pennsylvania, and I'm not sure that it's clear exactly where it is, but oh, it's just beautiful. The setting of it is beautiful. The the filmography and the streets and the home, just beautiful. Sigourney Weaver also plays his psychologist doctor, and she was fantastic in it too. I thought, oh, we're gonna get a scene with her fighting, but we didn't really get one with her fighting. We got one with her driving, and she was great. She has such a breadth of different characters that she has played over the years that it was fun to see her in another role as a more mature woman. She holds that position beautifully. Then there are some other things about, I always like this, it's not that it's predictable, but his classmates, with all of their little quirks, they end up helping him, and that's kind of a cool thing that, that people sometimes underestimate what kids can do, and they prove in this little script that, what help the kids can do is invaluable. Actually helped with a lot of the things in the scene. So the whole thing, the loss of innocence when he realizes who he is and his whole life has changed in a New York minute, so to speak, and he's on the run for his life, and he's got the CIA chasing him, and he's got the terrorists chasing him, and it was just action packed. It was not super predictable. There were a couple of things that you go, oh, I kind of see that coming, but it was exciting, and it was definitely entertaining. Again, my takeaways: be prepared. Be prepared for whatever might come your way. Not trust anybody, but be prepared. And also, that whole thing when the loss of innocence comes, and what are you going to do? Wallow or move on? He does a beautiful job of where he could lament and weep and wail and mourn the loss of his what he thought were his parents. He moves on very quickly, and I know that he becomes a better person because of it. So let's see, is there anything else here? I hope they have a sequel. It was exciting. It was over before it began, it seemed like, and it led a perfect way to having a sequel. So I hope they have one. I thought it was great. Taylor Lautner filled up the screen, and oh my goodness, there's a scene. I think they're on the train, him and the girlfriend. Well, she's the girl next door, and they have a kissing scene, and you think, oh, if I was their mother, please don't kiss other people like that when you're so young. They're like 17 in the movie, but it's a good kissing scene. We don't have enough really good. It's like some kissing scenes you're like, ugh, they don't even kiss good, but this one they go, wow, they kiss really. It was a good kiss. There's a good kissing scene in there. So if you like seeing a good kissing scene, there's one of them in there. That's my review for Abduction. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much for listening. This is Dianne, out and about. One woman's opinion.